Well, good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. I will bless the Lord at all times, and his praise shall continue to be in this mouth. I bless God for the opportunity to come before you. I am Portia Wheatley. I am the founder and president of Trophy of Life Incorporated, where we have the vision of bringing hope and encouragement to, let's say, the world, because we definitely need it right about now. Well, I wanted to welcome my co-host, Takira Swan,
Hello.
and I will welcome my guest momentarily. But before we do, I wanted to make sure, or let's ask, not just make sure, but may I ask you if you would go to our YouTube channel and subscribe to our channel so that we can bring this word and these messages of hope, encouragement, and inspiration to the world. I'm not going to limit myself and say to the local community, not just to the state, but not even the USA. Let's go beyond that because God is such a big God, and let's not box him in. Um, Takira,
Yes,
how are you today?
I'm good.
Good, good. Are you ready to receive today?
I am ready to receive. I'm very excited for our guest today and her topic at hand.
Yes. Well, today we're going to welcome Miss Carol Williams. Carol is and I have to get this straight, advanced grief recovery method specialist. Okay,
Yeah.
let me say it again. She is an advanced grief recovery method specialist. So that means she knows what she's talking about. Okay. It's good to have someone who is educated as well that can share information from their heart. And 2020 has been a crazy year for some. It's been a blessing for others. And we're still blessed because we're still here. In spite of COVID, who's taken many, many, many lives, we're still here. So we have something to bless God for. But we're going to get some information on grief today, information that will help us on this journey of losing family members, loved ones, friends, all of that. All of that is needed and necessary so that we know how to entreat them, we know how to interact with them, and we know what to do for ourselves. All right. So Carol Williams, thank you for being here. You have the platform.
Thank you so much, Pastor Portia or Portia, and to Kara. Thank you. Thank you. I am so honored to be here on Project 365.
Yes,
I
yes.
am so honored. Wanted to most certainly say again, I am Carol Williams. I am an advanced grief recovery method specialist certified by the
You
Grief
say it so
Recovery.
fast.
Um, I do because I
It's good.
let me slow down. I'll take my orders from you, Pastor
No.
Portia, and slow it down. Slow it down. Got it. I am an advanced grief recovery method specialist. I'm certified by the Grief Recovery Method Institute. And what we want to talk about is, let me know my time, Pastor Portia and Takara, because I can get on a roll here with this. Let me just tell you how I became involved, first of all, as it relates to the component of grief. In 2006, I lost my mom. But prior to losing my mom, since 1971, and I remember it just like it was yesterday, and that was at the age of 5 was my first encounter with loss when my aunt passed, my dad's sister. And from 1971 literally until this present day, I have lost so many individuals. But what I later discovered is that a grief is not just associated to loss of individuals. Grief is not just associated to loss of individuals. Oftentimes we think that grief is associated just to the loss of individuals, but it's not. So so then what happened when my mother died in 2006, I became literally stuck in grief. I became stuck in grief because by then, again, 11 months prior to that, my best friend had died. And I actually have experienced both of my parents becoming the last sibling. Prior to my mom's death, she became the last sibling, and my dad became the last sibling. Lost my grandparents. I've lost so much in my course of my life. And so I became stuck in this place of grief. I never thought that I would be able literally to get to the place where I would be able to help anyone, let alone let alone at that time, I would even say that I am physically here on earth, because never knew how, or just never thought I would be able to survive or live. Especially after my mom passed, and then um, I became really involved with the grief program when my niece died. My niece died suddenly, and that really shook my very foundation. It shook my foundation. God knows it did. And I decided to become a grief recovery method specialist at that time. And I wanted to actually give back to individuals. And one of the things that happened when my mother died is I felt like I was in a place by myself. No one understood me. I did not feel that I had the support that I needed, because my dad at that time, he had me for his support. My sister had her children. Her children had their spouses, and I felt like I didn't have anyone. And I never wanted anyone to experience the pain of grief without having some type of support. And that's when I started Strength for the Grieving by the Grieving.
Mhm.
It's a support group on Facebook where I just want individuals to allow themselves to grieve, because I felt that being in church all my life, being saved, love the Lord, I felt that faith-based individuals didn't understand me. I did not want to hear about God. Love God, love the Lord with all my heart, did not want to hear about God right now. I didn't want to hear that my mom was in a better place. I didn't
Right.
want to hear anything right now. I was just in pain. I didn't know what to do with what I was feeling. And I wanted to create a place where people can articulate what they're feeling. If they're sad, they can articulate they're sad. If they're anxious, they can articulate they're anxious. And even in moments where they feel like they don't want to live, they can say they don't want to live. And we definitely will make sure that we know that they can contact the National Suicide Prevention Hotline, but won't tell them that they're going to hell, and make sure that they're getting the help that they need. So what is grief? Grief is the normal, natural reaction to loss. That's important to understand. Grief is normal. So it is normal. So when we tell people or don't allow people to grieve, we're not doing them any good, actually, because it's normal. So it's okay. And especially with the symptoms of crying, we tell people don't cry or don't be sad, or especially crying. It's okay to cry.
It's
And
okay.
I always say, and want someone to know now, it's okay to feel what you feel. I want to talk to the person right now. You're feeling so many different emotions, but it's okay. It really is okay to feel what you feel. It's okay to cry. And you may have moments where you're angry. You may have moments you're angry. And sometimes we don't want to say this, but sometimes you may be angry, yes, even angry at God. You may be angry at God. We most certainly don't want you to stay in that place of anger, but we want you to know that if you're angry with God, okay, articulate that, be honest and be transparent, and not avoid what you're feeling, and you may have a decrease in concentration.
Ooh.
Sometimes grieving individuals feel like they're losing their mind, because they don't understand that it's a normal, natural reaction. So that's imperative to know. No, I would admonish most certainly, uh, all whether we want to believe it or not, we all are 100% grievers, because remember I said that grief is the normal, natural reaction to loss, but it's also related to any change in a particular pattern of behavior or events. So that's how with COVID-19, that's how we are now considered most certainly 100% grievers. But not only that, loss is not just death of a loved one. It can be related to, we can experience the normal reaction related to pet loss, divorce, job loss, retirement is another one. And even as it relates to COVID-19, remember we said change in a particular pattern of behavior. As we've had to change so many different things, the way graduation takes place. Even now, look at the way the inauguration is taking place, you know, and even I just recently was interviewed on Life Matters, and I never even thought about it being the ability not to be able to interact with individuals like we normally would be able to interact with individuals. So grief impacts us in so many different ways. So I wanted to make sure that we understand that. And I want to make sure we talk about myths concerning grief. One of the things I want to tell individuals, please, you don't have to always be strong. You don't always have to always be strong. So I am giving you permission this day to be okay with not being strong, to be okay with not being strong. We say at the Grief Recovery Method Institute, don't be strong, but be human. And it's human to feel what you feel. And allowing yourself to say, you're not strong, is okay. And even from the faith-based perspective, remember, it's in our weakness that the Lord is our strength. And so let the Lord be your strength while you admit honestly that you're not strong, and be okay. Be okay with not being strong. Want to talk about just give it some time as a myth. So we at the Grief Recovery Method Institute, we have 5 myths. The first myth is don't feel bad, replace the loss, grieve alone, just give it time. Another one is actually 6, keep busy. We want to talk about just give it time, because we say time heal all wounds, and I am a firm believer, and I stick true to who I am. Most certainly, I would say God and grief work, some type of therapy, definitely heals wounds and helps with recovery. Now notice I said recovery, not get over it. Please, please listen, hear my heart. Let's be careful in what we're saying to individuals. Let's not tell individuals to get over it. Let's not tell individuals to get over it. It's imperative to do grief work. Now, reason why we say don't just give it time. If you were to develop a flat tire, and you wouldn't just sit there and just watch air or automatically say air will go into the tire. And even if this is me being funny at the moment, but even if you decide you want to be deep and spiritual and start putting your hand towards the tire, speaking in tongues, I'm sorry. I am really sorry to tell you that air is not going to go into that tire. It's just not. You're going to have to do some work. You're going to have to do some work. And even as we talk about the Bible, faith without works is dead. And so oftentimes, even in our spiritual life, we're looking for God to do certain things, but he's looking for us to do the work. And that's the same even as it relates to grief. Grief work, meaning that you're going to have to find the strength to really begin to confront some hard areas, meaning lean into the pain, lean into the pain, lean into the pain. That means allow yourself to feel the pain and not do things to what we call short-term energy relieving behaviors, meaning doing things that will allow to numb the pain, like your excessive food, alcohol, sex, drugs, just to numb the pain because we don't want to necessarily deal with it. That is going to only be for short term. And meaning short term, what happens is once like for alcohol, if you're drinking excessive alcohol, once you come back down, the pain is still going to be there. The pain is still going to be there. So that's imperative. And keep busy. Unfortunately, even those of us faith-based faith-based particularly often, we can use church. We can use church and the things of church to avoid dealing with grief. We can use church and the things pertaining to church by keeping busy all the time, distracting us, to avoid dealing with grief and avoid dealing with what we're feeling, so that we can get to the point where we can get to the point where we can heal or recover. Now, when I say recover, what do I mean by that? I mean, get to a place where you're able to feel better, get to a place where you're able to claim your circumstances instead of your circumstances claiming your happiness.
Right.
Claiming your circumstances instead of your circumstances claiming your happiness. This is important. Getting to a place where grief does not become your identity. Getting to a point where people don't see, when they see you, they don't just see grief all the time. Now, and I am a witness, and those who know me and was with me during the process with my mom, grief was my identity. When you saw me, you saw grief. You knew at some point I was going to say something about grief. And I mean, and to the point where I didn't know how to cope outside of the death of my mother. So that's important. Get to a place where you're able to claim your circumstances instead of your circumstances claiming your happiness. Finding new meaning for living without the fear of being hurt again. Finding new meaning for living without the fear of being hurt again. And being able to enjoy the fond memories without having them participate being painful feelings of regret and remorse. Being able to live and live. Yes, not saying you're going to forget your loved one, by no means, but being able to get to a process where you will be able to live. That's what recovery is. That's not saying get over it. That's not saying get over it. It's just being able to function, to be able to function. And so that's what we at Grief Recovery Method, we provide tools. We provide the tools to help you to bring completion to the pain and the loss of the relationship. Because grief is emotional. It's emotional. It's usually attached, the feelings usually are intensified, especially as it relates to what is it that you wish you could have done different, better, or more pertaining to the loss. So Portia, how am I with time?
You're good. You got a good 5-7 minutes. It's so good. The information is so good. If you get too long, I'll come in. Don't worry about it. Go ahead. Go.
Okay.
You do your thing. You're good.
Okay. Great. I just want to know. So, and so then it's important to understand that we grieve because we love. We grieve because we love, and that is really important. And so that's why it's imperative to, I really want to maximize this moment, since I have 5 to 7 minutes, because this is where my one of my heartbeats is. And those who know me know, I even told someone, if you want me to be the grief police, I'll be your grief police, because it bothers me when individuals say the wrong things to individuals. So please don't tell individuals to get over it. Please, if someone says that they have lost anything, please let's not be so quick to say, I understand how you feel.
No, you.
And in that moment, what we tend to do is we say, I understand how you feel. And then what we do, we shift the focus from the griever, and then we make it all about us and tell our story. So we do not know how individuals feel. The reason why we don't know how individuals feel is because everyone's process related to grief is different. And we don't know or understand the relationship they had with the loss. So no, you don't know how individuals feel. You will never know how individuals feel. So, and then we talked about just give it some time. No, please, let's not tell someone just give it some time. And we know that we're quick as faith-based individuals say, well, they're gone, they're in a better place now. We begin to quote scriptures. Just be mindful. Just be mindful. Yeah. Because I've heard this said many a times, and this was my thoughts as well. Yes, a lot of times the scriptures that we're quoting to our other faith-based friends or our other community, they are aware of, oftentimes they're aware of those scriptures, but that moment It's
At the
not
right
that
time.
they're thinking about that. What they're thinking about now is, I get it. I don't want, and yes, it's selfish, but allow us to have our truth, allow us to be in our truth and have our moment. I don't want, I don't want the fact that that he or she or whatever the loss is in heaven. I'm wanting them here now with me. You know, I want my mother here now with me. I want my niece here now with me. I want, you know, so when I say that, you know, it's imperative just not to say they're gone on to heaven, or they're in a better place, and all of the things that we say, and we don't mean any harm. And this is where I'm always glad to have moments like this. And I'm so grateful for the Grief Recovery Method Institute, because I begin to learn, and it's
Yeah.
about education as well.
Yeah.
You know, education is key, and we don't do it out of intent to harm anyone, because that's always what we've been taught. And so, grievers, it's imperative to be okay. Let me give you permission today to be okay, and tell individuals, I appreciate your comments, but right now your comments are not working for me and they're not helping me. Be okay with saying that. Be okay with saying that, because oftentimes it may take you saying that so that they won't continue to go and say the same thing to someone and thinking that they're helping them, when actually they're not helping them. They're not helping them. So those are definitely and you know, we talked about, because another question we often get is, will grief end? Will grief end? And so, like I said before, we grieve because we love. And one of the things, is a quote by Vicki Harrison that says, grief is like the ocean, it comes in waves. It's
Mm.
ever flowing, and sometimes the water is calm, and sometimes it's overwhelming. All we can do is learn to swim. All we can do is learn to swim. And definitely we have to understand that, you know, definitely the Lord will hold us up. The Lord will hold us up in the midst even of when we're having our emotions, you know, when we're having tears coming down our eyes, when we don't understand, when we even may have questions. You know, it's really going back to, it's okay. So you may say, well, Carol, you've told me all of this, so then what can I do? What can I do right now to even cope with something that maybe I don't necessarily understand? One of the things is key. What you can do is you can start journaling. You can start journaling. Journaling is really imperative and important. Journal your thoughts out. What's going on today? I feel sad. You know, I feel like I want to cry. I just don't know why. God, where are you? Journal what's going on. Be honest with yourself in your journal. Be honest. Express your emotions. Express your emotions. Cry if you want to cry.
Right.
Yell if you want to yell. Um, Express your emotions. Avoid short-term energy relieving behaviors. Avoid short-term energy relieving behaviors, and embrace your support system. Embrace your support system. Now, how you can identify a good support system for you: individuals who will allow you simply to be yourself in every moment that you're in. Whether you're happy and you want to laugh, whether you're crying and you want to cry, whatever it is that you want to do. And the person is able to listen to you and not always have something to say. Because oftentimes, what individuals try to do is they want to try to fix grievers. Grievers do not need to be fixed. They are not broken. They're having issues. The heart is definitely broken, but as a whole, they are not broken.
Right.
So grievers don't need to be fixed. And sometimes we offer advice that we really should be mindful of, unless you're referring them to get professional help
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and go through grief therapy, you know, a grief counselor therapy, get professional help, and be okay. Be okay. That's key. Be okay. Be okay to get help. Be okay to get help. And it does not change anything of who you are. It has nothing to do, it takes nothing away from your relationship with God. It's to help you be able to function, So we definitely have, I am most certainly here for you.
Mhm.
I am available for you. If you're interested, most certainly in scheduling a 30-minute consultation with me to see how the grief recovery method program can definitely benefit you and help you. Most certainly, I am here for you.
Yeah.
You can definitely visit our website, griefrecoverymethod.com, and there you will find multiple resources concerning even other programs that we have. I am an advanced grief recovery method specialist now, as of last year, because we now offer the one-on-one support online. We offer it online now. They are depending on your state. There are still some individuals who are doing the actual support group with COVID restrictions applying. But we also have pet loss groups. We also have helping children with loss group. That's for parents who have children who need assistance with dealing with loss. That actually, right this minute, I don't offer it online at this moment, but within the next few months, I'll be able to say that I'm offering that program as well online. So we have a lot to offer you all. So please, most certainly, take advantage of the resources. And that's another thing. Take advantage of resources available and understand that you are not by any means alone in your process.
Right.
Also want to most certainly say that Strength for the Grieving by the
That's the
Grieving.
one I wanted.
Strength for the Grieving by the Grieving is a Facebook group, and in that group, we are there to help. We have affirmations. We support each other. We allow individuals to be themselves. And I have watched literally, I've watched the hand of the Lord on this group, where I always tell them I'm their biggest cheerleader, because I understand to a degree. I understand. I say to a degree because that takes off the words of I understand what you're going through. I understand to a degree of just not being able to move and know that there still is so much inside of me. So I am their biggest cheerleader, and I've watched individuals be able to, yes, have their moments, deal with what they're dealing with, but be able to be successful in their grief process.
That's wonderful. That's Carol. That is so. Oh, that was so good. That was so good. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, mention your book.
Oh, oh, my book. Okay.
Yeah, just mention at least the name of it, or text it to me, and I will put it in the. At least mention it, and then I
Sure.
will put it in the chat.
Sure. Christ optimizes victory and desolation. Prayers for uncertain times. Yes, COVID. It is a book to pray as it relates to what's going on in the world pertaining to COVID. We have 14 prayers, and each prayer has an introduction to the prayer topic. We're talking about faith. We're talking about fear. We're talking about salvation, have to be true to grieving. We talk about grief. And we also, towards the end of each prayer, we have a place where you can journal as well. And you can find the book and information on my website at icaresolutions.website.
That is wonderful. Good, good, good. Thank you so very much. I so
Yes.
appreciate what you shared. I really appreciate it. It's been a blessing just to sit and listen. And I tell you what, those that are in our audience, please, please share this. Share this segment with your family, your friends, your co-workers, those that you know have lost their loved ones, who's lost a family member, anyone you feel that could use this information that Carol shared with us today. And again, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel so that this can go worldwide for other people that need this type of information. Thank you so much. Takira,
Yes,
you got
thank
it,
you.
sweetie.
Yes, thank you so much for coming and sharing this information. This was so beneficial for a lot of people, actually for everyone, because if you are not grieving right now, sometime you will in life, and you have to deal with people who are also grieving. So thank you for helping us and giving us tips on how to grieve and how it's okay to grieve and how to handle our loved ones and friends who are grieving as well. You are great. Please check out her resources and her website. Like she said, we'll link the info in our video below. And also, please tune in tomorrow. We have some more great goodies for you. I hope you all are enjoying the show. It's like every day I grow a little bit more and I get further in my journey in different areas of my life. And I hope you guys are taking advantage of it as well. So just join us tomorrow. Our guest tomorrow, do you want to say who it is?
I can just have to wait and see.
Just tune in tomorrow to find out. We'll love to have you again. And thank you so much, Ms. Carol, for coming in and sharing with us.
Thank you, Takara. Thank you.
One last, you're very, very welcome. Thank you. One last statement, or shall I say one share. I know tomorrow is a big day for the country. Good old, the president coming in, vice president coming in. So I know your eyes may be on that particular event, and but we still will deliver tomorrow. But I'm asking, when you get a chance, come back and view it, okay? Promise me that you'll do that. Come back and view it, because we will have some good information for you tomorrow. Yes. All right? I thank you again. I love you. God bless you. Until we meet again. Bye-bye.